Disney has part ownership of the MrBeast channel, and they might be trying to keep it a secret. MrBeast is part of the most lucrative club of the world's most famous creators, and they're all managed by the same person, who's the biggest name in the creator economy that you've never even heard about. We're gonna get to that in a second, but why should we care about this in the first place? At the surface, it seems like a harmless thing, and it honestly might be helpful that Disney, who's the entertainment behemoth that they are, has a hand helping these creators find more and more success, right? But it goes way deeper than that and shows why the world's biggest businesses have a hand in every decision we make, even if we don't realize it. And it all starts at the bottom of the pyramid with MrBeast. Now, MrBeast's channel on a surface level has their own personal brands. You have Jimmy with Feastables and Beast Burger. You have Chandler with his golf. You have Carl with his gummies, who's a part of Feastables, and then you have Chris as well. But MrBeast, the company, is run by Night Media, and that's owned by Reed Duche. And him and MrBeast became partners and started working together before MrBeast even had his first million subscribers. And now they manage the world's biggest creators and have hundreds of millions, if not billions of subscribers all combined. There's Ryan Trahan, Kai Cenat, Dream, Duke Dennis, Danny Duncan, Mr. Who's the Boss, Darman, ZHC, Kara and Nate, Guga, and MrBeast, and the list goes on. Their goal is to be a private equity company around the largest creators in the world. They invest in the creator on a personal level by bringing them into Night Media. Then they mentor the creator to explode their channel. They also give them access to lucrative brand deals and sponsorships like Shopify, Shop, and every single creator does a massive ad with Brawl Stars, I feel like. Then they help them launch their personal brands, and they have a stake in that brand to help them generate significant revenue. Their goal is to find the largest creators on the internet and then use their personal brands to generate consumer products. And this is going to become a lot more common as we see creator-centered businesses fail and creator-run businesses become some of the most successful companies in the world. Imagine each video having some sort of advertisements around it and getting the viewership of someone like MrBeast. I would go as far to say they have custom manufacturers for these creators to make their products as efficient and quick as possible to get onto their audiences. I'm sure they're quality. I'm just saying it's probably a pretty streamlined process right now because they all work in consumer products. Seems like a cash cow for the creators and the company because of the billions and billions of views they bring in every single month, right? Now, I wonder how this translates to sales. What if I told you that Disney had a majority stake in Night Media, which runs the world's biggest creators? And this moves on to the second part of the pyramid with Disney. And they don't just own partial rights to Night Media. They own way more than that. Disney's a $250 billion company now, and they've been a powerhouse in the entertainment industry pretty much since the TV was invented. They definitely have the capital to deploy to make creator businesses successful, and that's a good thing, right? Does this mean that they potentially limit MrBeast and what he can say and can't say, or some of the challenges that he can or can't do? Are they limiting every single person from all these different companies under the scope of Disney of what they want to hear and the best ways to continuously grow the Disney company? And would it be a bad thing if Disney had this type of control? Because Disney's known for being the world's biggest entertainment company and a place to go where people can have a magical time. And it doesn't stop there because they own all the media. They own Lucasfilm, which is the major producer of Star Wars. They own Fox, ABC News, which is all the news, Disney Music Group, Marvel and Pixar, which are the biggest entertainment pieces in the entire world, Nat Geo, DreamWorks, ESPN, and Freeform. This is where it starts to get crazy. Disney just officially partnered with Apple and the Apple Vision Pro this month. They created the world's first holographic patented floor. But what does that even mean? Growing up at some point, I think that every single person wanted to be a Disney Imagineer and create all of the cool rides that Disney does every single year. One of the Disney lead Imagineers just created the Holo Tile. They describe it as a treadmill that works with you rather than against you. It follows the direction your body is moving, which means you can move in any direction as fast as you want and never go off the floor unless it's turned off. And this part is what I think is insane. The Holo Tile floor was announced on January 31st, and I think it was extremely interesting that Apple announced an exclusive partnership with Disney World on February 2nd, which is the day they launched the Apple Vision Pro. They said that they would have an exclusive entertainment partnership with Disney and Disney Plus that would be available exclusively on the Apple Vision Pro to bring extraordinary new Disney experiences to people around the world. And I think it's pretty safe to say that they're planning on combining the Holo Tile floor with the Apple Vision Pro. But what does this have to do with creators at all? Come a little bit closer, because this is just the surface, the tip of the iceberg. On February 10th, which was 8 days later than the Apple and Disney Holo Tile partnership, Disney announced a huge investment of $1.5 billion into Fortnite. They invested into Epic Games to create an expansive universe within Disney and Fortnite. Sit down if you're not already, because this is where it really continues to get crazy. It may not be obvious, but if you think hard enough, you can see the play that Disney's trying to make here. They own all the media that the boomers use: Fox, Freeform, ABC, You name it, they own it. And all the generational brands like Pixar and Marvel. Now they're getting into the style of media where they can capture all of Gen Z and all the iPad kids of Gen Alpha. And a study came out that these kids are spending more time playing video games than all the other type of forms of media combined. They're trying to create Ready Player One with Fortnite as the oasis. Think back to when the main character puts the goggles on in Ready Player One for the very first time. It literally looks like the picture preview for the Fortnite metaverse that they're trying to build now. And the reason they're doing this is they saw that the creator collaborations with the digital universe have the highest retention rates in history. The Fortnite Travis Scott concert had 45 million viewers and made Travis Scott $20 million for doing nothing. There's a massive market here, and Disney's leveraging this to make these people not just the most famous people on the planet, but the most famous people in the digital space as well. And we've hit a point now where there's so much money being poured into it that it's not an if, it's a when. And if all that seems crazy to you, remember, we're not even at the top of the pyramid yet. It's bigger than Mr. Beast, it's bigger than YouTube, it's even bigger than Disney. It all leads up to the top of the pyramid at the world's most powerful company. BlackRock. They own everything. They manage $9.1 trillion. The United States has over $145 trillion cash on hand after debts, which means that BlackRock is over 6% of what the United States owns. To show you how much money that really is, the United States collected $1.58 trillion in taxes last year. They own 9 times more than that. And they control all the media that you see around the world. Literally everything. BlackRock's one of the leading companies for investment and advisory solutions for managing all the world's money. That's what they do. They pretty much own and run all of the world's money. And they own 6.7% of Disney, which we now know is in charge of all the media for every single age group around the world. So the company that owns the majority of the economy also owns all of the entertainment that we see on every single form of social media or piece of technology that you own in your pocket. Should we be worried about the ability for them to sway public opinion? To add more insult to injury, they're also known for secrecy and scandal, like not reporting funds correctly or saying that they have less money than they do, potentially for write-offs, potentially for other purposes. Who knows? But it's all in speculation. When I think of BlackRock, I think of every single evil, fancy guy in a suit looking over the NYC skyline. And that's not a good thing, knowing that they control all the media, especially Disney. Vanguard's right up there with them, with $8.7 trillion in assets managed and 7.7% ownership in Disney. And it's also, if not one of the largest banks in the entire world. Is it just me, or is all this kind of starting to go full circle here? And then finally, with over $3.7 trillion under management, is State Street. They're also one of the world's largest owners of money and have a 3% stake in Disney as well. This really does make you wonder though, are these companies able to control the way that people think through media and the way that they portray what they want to be said to the audiences through the companies that they own? This may all seem crazy, but think back to 10 to 15 years ago, even if you guys were alive at that point. There was a news channel that aired, and it was 40 different news stations that said the exact same thing from across the United States, word for word.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things that simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think.
They all followed the exact same script. And the final question I'll leave you guys with is, how much do businesses play a role in the creator economy and the decisions that we make in our everyday lives? Thanks for coming to the corporation, the best community. It's Generation Nation. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, because the next one's only going to get crazier. Peace.